So spoilers. When he shoots, when he first gets mugged or whatever you want to call it, just beat up, and he shoots the guys, and the audience clapped. I don't know. I felt like it was a weird thing to clap for.
I think in today's current climate of rich kids kind of getting away with whatever they want.
Maybe that's the thing. I missed that they were rich kids. Maybe that's what I missed.
They worked for.
Yeah, no, but you find that out later.
I think it's just like you can tell these guys in ties, and just how they act. They're just like really swarmy and throwing fries at a woman. I guess it was just
a cue that I missed. I just thought I mean, they were dressed nice, but I just didn't really think about it. I just saw them as a bunch of thugs.
No, they're dressed nice.
Yeah,
they're
I know.
Rich
That's
kids.
what I'm saying. I didn't notice it. It just didn't really cross my mind that they were dressed nice. So I just saw them as thugs being assholes.
No,
and rich kids can be thugs.
Yeah, no, I know that.
Oh yeah,
that's why I don't like the term because it gets the news.
You're right. The news it's got weight. That word's got weight to it.
Yeah, just like you think their guys are mugging, but these guys are. The fact that they're all in black and white suits shows. Oh, these are kids with money because they're pretty young.
But do kids with money ride the subway?
In heavy cities like that, probably.
Oh, okay.
Or it just looks like they're drunk, so they couldn't.
That's fine. Yeah, it's a good point.
Maybe not.
Going bar hopping or something.
Maybe
it's a big city.
In the 70s, I don't think you. Well, yeah, I think rich people would ride the trains or the subways, even though it was really rough. It's still rough, but
yeah.
So that's what it was. It was just like he's shooting 3 rich kids, and it's just like, yeah, Discount Tuesday.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I felt like.
I'm gonna have to say, like, yeah, you just missed out that they were wearing suits. That's a big indicator of rich.
Yeah, but also I don't know. Just it felt like he was starting on this dangerous path, and I'm like, that's not something you should be cheering on. Is murder? Because that's where I'm getting with like that possible socially conscious thing is stuff like that.
You have people heralding web or Facebook pages called "Eat the Rich," and it's like he just killed 3 rich people. Isn't that the same?
I mean, I guess so. Then I guess that is that whole thing. I went over my head that they were supposed to be rich kids.
I think like just a lot of like headlines in like the newspapers and stuff is just supposed to echo what's on Facebook, and this is supposed to take place in the 70s, 80s. So you couldn't show Facebook, but you could show TV news, you can show newspapers, and what the equivalent of that would be. And it's just like, yeah, a movement called "Kill the Rich." Yeah, it's like that's echoing Facebook's "Eat the Rich" webpage and stuff. Whether those are for jokes or not,
I just missed all that because I just saw it as him killing society.
No, this is supposed to be just classism.
Right. No, and I get that from then on, and that makes sense. I guess just in that moment, it didn't feel that way.
But I guess we're spoilers free now. So
yeah, no, because I think it's not spoiler free. It's full spoilers.
Oh, yeah, I'm thinking weapons free kind of thing.
Oh, right, that is a term. Yeah.
I think that is supposed to be a big commentary. I don't know if he actually made this. Maybe it's just something that happened. You're supposed to think, oh, his actions are he killed these 3 guys because they were messing with a woman. There's some punk rich kids and they were beating him up. But then when later on he said, they're like, why'd you kill those? They're like, they were being mean. There was no political thing. It wasn't because they were messing with the woman. He actually didn't care about the woman. It was just, no, they messed with me, so I got him back.
Yeah.
And so throughout this movie, it seems like people, all like the crowds, all the people wearing the clown masks, they're thinking he has a political reason for all this.
Right.
And come to find out, no, it's because he's a psychopath and he's mad at people and he's going to kill those people.
Right, yeah.
But everyone around him takes it as like, oh, they herald him as like, you're the king of the poor and stuff like that.
So then didn't the audience just become those exact people? Which is a problem, isn't it? They're cheering on someone that doesn't deserve to be cheered on.
Is it a problem or is it just a reflection of what goes on? Like that's going to happen either way.
Does life reflect art or does art reflect life?
It's like, do you herald the person that robs the bank because they got back at the system? Or was it that they were just wanted money?
Yeah.
Like they didn't have a political thing. They were just like, oh, I just want money.
Yeah.
And so it's like, do you herald criminals? Because they might not be doing a greater good thing. They might just be selfish.
Right.
Kind of things. Like, don't make heroes of them. Even if they are breaking the system that's breaking you, maybe still don't herald that guy.
Right, yeah.
And that's that's why I like this movie, because it does have actual reflection on real life, because people are, oh yeah, the Joker, they're rising him up, and it's like, no,
Yeah.
don't do that. Especially at the end, when it's heavily implied, the woman he's talking to when he's in handcuffs, he's got the cigarette, and he's like, you wouldn't get the joke. He kills her.
Oh yeah.
Because when he's running away, you can see blood in his footsteps.
Oh yeah.
And it's just like, that woman was innocent. Yeah, you could say, oh, she's part of the system.
Right.
But either way, that's the whole point, is like, you kill innocent people even if it gets back.
Just because you're angry at the system doesn't mean you could just willingly.
Is it right to kill the people that are, survive off of that and stuff?
Yeah.
Because, like, throughout, like his first, what is she called? Therapist, like, when she was telling him, like, basically saying, oh, we're losing funding, he's like, you just don't understand. And I think the whole point was, like, she does understand this is how the procedure works, but he doesn't understand how the procedure works, so he thinks nothing's getting done.
Right, yeah.
But, and the shitty thing is, and then she's just real with him for a second, like, oh, yeah, the system, they cut our funding.
Yeah.
What about my medicine? Don't know.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to show, like, yeah, you were getting upset at her because you're thinking she's a system, but she's just affected by the system as you are.
Right, yeah.
So don't get upset at those people, too.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, but I don't know, with moral responsibility, I don't know if this movie needs to have that, because I think that's already there. And this is just echoing what's on Facebook and what's on all this stuff. Like, oh, we should kill the rich. And it's like, well, if you do that, yeah, you might fix problems, but you're going to kill a lot of innocent people along the way.
Right, yeah.
And is that right?
Speaking of, the moral responsibility or whatever, I can't say for sure. I don't know what the filmmaking went, but I feel like there was a conscious decision made to keep it from being that quote unquote incel wet dream. I think they made a decision to cut something.
What do you think they cut?
I think he kills Zazie Beetz' character, and I think they did it off camera. And I think they made a decision not to show it. The actress, she's the woman who lives on the same floor as him. I think he kills her, and I think.
Oh yeah, that kind of goes a little quick, don't it?
Yeah, and I wonder if originally it was meant for him to kill her on camera, but it may have came off that way because he's a man who believes he's in a relationship with a woman, finds out he's not, and he kills her. That's falls in that. Though I think the movie would have been so much better if they showed him kill her. To be honest.
Yeah, because it's supposed to show like
he's losing
his
all
descent into being a psychopath,
and not just but like he is truly a sociopath.
Yeah,
like, he honestly just doesn't care about people, and that's made obvious later. That he doesn't care about all these protests and everything. He's a narcissist.
Yeah, and when they start showing attention, he's like, okay, and he just starts dancing. And he just walls it up,
which is interesting that he's. So we know for sure, right, that he's adopted.
Yes, absolutely for sure.
It's interesting because he has the same mental illnesses as his mother. Because he's got narcissistic personality disorder, obviously.
From personal experience and what I've learned is that if you're genetically dispositioned to that, doesn't mean that'll actually come out.
Oh, of course.
But if you are raised by somebody with like being a sociopath or being narcissistic, that could be brought out in you. From what I've
it could bring out even if most people might even have it buried deep, but it could be brought out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because a lot of times that it's not activated.
Yeah.
Because I was watching a documentary on the Iceman, one of the most prolific mobster gangsters or just killers, an actual hitman around. He was beaten severely and treated so bad by his dad because his dad was a sociopath, and that brought it out in him.
Yeah.
But he was a little rough with his daughters, but he was a lot nicer, and because of that, his daughters are not going to be sociopaths.
Yeah.
But they have the genetic disposition for it. So it could have been brought up, but he kind of broke the chain. Like this, I know he's a killer. He kills everybody, but he does care about his own daughters.
Right, yeah.
Sort of.
Well, also there's all different kinds of sociopaths, too. There's sociopaths who don't give a shit about humans, but they'll love their dog, and if anybody hurts their dog, they're
it's not across the board.
Yeah, it could be. They could actually have true feelings about their family members and nobody else.
Yeah,
it can be. Yeah, there's all kinds. Different kinds.
That's what I've heard. Like this Iceman, like that's what he kind of has. He's a little bit more lenient towards women and children, but he hates men because it's tied into his father being abusive towards him and stuff. And so I think that's just what happened in this one was he's just beaten so severely that whatever condition she had, it kind of, that he's like, oh, because when you're growing up in those formative years, when you see somebody like a matriarch like that have that, it's like, oh, that's how I'm supposed to act, and I wonder if that's what brings it out.
Right, yeah.
Because that's how I'm supposed to be as a person, and it just brings it out. And then just him having brain damage, too, didn't help the whole situation.
Right.
So now he's delusional. He doesn't know what's real. And when you lose connection with reality like that, you just like, because he's sitting there going through like, oh, I didn't know if I existed,
Yeah.
And it's like, he's starting to apply that to other people. It's like, I don't care, you exist, and just kill you. Like,
oh, right, yeah.
He was nice to the little person, though. I was trying to figure out like what the motivation was, and I don't think there is supposed to be.
Yeah. Also, that character, I wasn't sure, like, was that like when he goes to open the door and the chain? I laughed and then I went, oh, that was terrible. That's not something I should be laughing at.
It's a comedic moment, but it's supposed to be comedic because it's so dark.
Yeah.
I think that's the whole point. And it's supposed to give this tension, like, because I'm sitting there going like, oh, is he going to kill him?
Yeah.
And he's like, no. And I wonder if it's because he was always a butt of a joke, so he saw him as kind of similar almost.
Right.
Or just because he's narcissistic and he's playing God. He's like, kills one person, the other person's like, oh, they're always mean to you. I'll be nice to you. I'll be better.
So could it have been more nervous laughter?
No, I think you could just laugh at how dark it is. I think that's okay. Because it's a dark situation.
Because I felt like I was laughing at a little person joke, and it felt like I just felt...
I think that was kind of the point.
Yeah.
And not in a trying to disparage little people kind of way.
Right.
I mean, just a situation. Just to create such a dark situation.
Yeah. All right. I just felt a little dirty after that. I was like, I don't like that I just laughed at a little person joke, but... now, I guess I have Sophie written down, so I guess that's Zazie Beetz' character's name, Sophie. One of the things I said while I was bringing up that felt forced was all the scenes where they showed her there and then they showed her not there.
Yeah,
I was like, we didn't need any of that. I think we got that at that point.
I think people do need it, but I'm on the same point. I got it.
As soon as she said, "You're Arthur, right?" I'm like, "Oh, I know exactly."
Yeah, you instantly.
Especially since it already showed that he's delusional anyway.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I felt like we did not need those scenes.
I think some people might if they're not so versed in like movies.
Yeah.
But yeah, as soon as I got it was like, because if they didn't show any flashbacks, they just said like, because I'm like, oh, is this gonna be brilliant? I'm like, oh, it kind of cheapened it.
Yeah.
But it was just like, you're Arthur from down the hall, right? Because the whole time, whenever he comes up to her and just kisses her, and she's like, oh, you're following me, huh? And she's kind of like sassy about it.
See that scene took me out of the movie, to be honest, because I was like, what?
I think that was the point, was to show like
there's something off, like this isn't real. Yeah. That makes sense.
Because that part did too. And so when that scene's supposed to happen, you're supposed to go, oh, I remember that scene that was off.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why it was off.
Yeah.
Yeah, the flashback scene. It's just like, yeah, it cheapens it a little bit, but I get it's to make sure everybody's on the same page.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about, I don't want to call it dumbing it down, but just making it more accessible.
Yeah.
Because it does cheapen it, but...
Right, yeah.
I don't know how to feel about it.
Yeah. Was there anything else we want to talk about? Spoilers?
I thought him shooting the show host was a little far-fetched.
See, that's where I felt like I wanted to clap. Maybe just because at that point I was fully invested and I was just like, yeah, fuck everything, you know. Even though I almost felt the opposite, like I should not be rooting for this character, but...
Yeah, I had that spoiled for me because the person that told me about, like, everybody was, like, nervous during that part, they revealed that to me and it kind of spoiled it because the whole point is, like, you're supposed to think, like, oh, you want to hear another joke? And then shoots himself.
Right, yeah.
But then he takes the stance of, like, I'm not the problem. You're the problem.
Yeah.
And so that's what that's supposed to be. It was kind of spoiled for me, so I can't really fully comment on it.
Right, yeah. Yeah, that whole scene was fucking nerve-wracking. Yeah. And I was starting to wonder if I didn't like it or not. And then afterwards, I started to enjoy it a little bit more. But like, I was like, where the fuck is this gonna go?
Yeah.
For a second there, I really thought he was just gonna kill himself, and I was just like, well, this is gonna be a downer. But
It'll be down.
which
Yeah.
maybe would have been for the best for the actual characters involved in the movie. But
Yeah. Yeah, but that's the whole point. He's a narcissist.
right.
His struggle in this weird, perverse way was to stop beating himself up about stuff and start being more, taking more action.
Yeah.
He just does it in a really wrong way.
Right.
But
yeah.
if you look at his typical like hero story, that's what would happen. Is like, no, I have the strength to do this. I'm gonna persevere. That's what he does.
Yeah.
In a way different way, and that's the whole point of like flipping it from a hero to a villain story.
Right. Yeah.
And so it's like that's well done.
And that's the thing is, like, I think they actually did a good job of saying, just so you guys know, this guy's the bad guy.
Yeah.
And I still think it's just going over people's heads. People are like, oh, yeah, Joker. Fuck yeah, Joker's cool. He's my hero. And it's like, oh.
Because I'll compare it to other movies, like, let's say, The Mechanic. Or whatever assassin-type movie with Jason Statham. I don't know if you ever saw it.
No, but I want to.
What he does is, like, he goes on this Craigslist on this back-end thing, and he taps into this thing where he gets like dead drops of like, okay, this is your person you got to go kill. Every person he kills is a horrible person.
Oh, okay, yeah.
They never show him killing an innocent person. It's like, oh, that's how you're making him likable to the to the audience. The fact is he's a pay for or a hitman for hire.
Right.
He gets paid to kill people. They're not always going to be bad guys. They're going to be some innocent people along the way.
Right.
But you're only going to show him killing the bad people.
Yeah.
And that's how you humanize that person in a bad way.
Yeah.
And so this movie does a responsible way of like, people aren't really good and bad in this movie. Joker's probably the worst one.
Right.
Like everybody has like their faults and stuff, but you understand why he's doing what he's doing. I think I'm losing my trail right now. What was it going with that? There's no clear cut of what's good and bad in this movie. Other than, like, Joker's like, you get why he's doing it, but he shouldn't be doing it that way.
Right, yeah, exactly.
I don't know. Other movies are just like, oh, yeah, he's a hitman, but he's ultimately a good guy, and he's killing worse people. It's just like, yeah, okay.
Right, yeah.
The Mechanic is
Or,
whatever movie.
You mean like Dexter? Or like, he's a sociopathic serial killer, but he only kills
kills others, like, serial or other killers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is an interesting concept. And I heard the first like few seasons are like on the level of like the first season of Walking Dead and
I've heard like
Breaking
watch
Bad.
like
But
3.5 seasons.
I heard the last seasons go like like dip to the point of like so bad it's good territory.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, like that scene with the kid on the treadmill. I watched like I've seen that a million times, and then so one day I find out it's from Dexter. I'm like, that's from Dexter?
The kid on the treadmill?
Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to show
Okay.
you. It's just this kid. He's on a treadmill and he falls, and he yells out, and it's just everything about it is so fake, and it's just so stupid.
I've probably seen it then. I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. All right, so are we ready to move on?
Yeah.
All right.